Alrighty, what is going on, Pats Nation? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global here, back with another video, and in this one, the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick are continuing to make signings. This is the second one of today behind Mike Gesicki. If you guys do want to watch the video about Mike Gesicki, what he brings to the Patriots, that video is already up on the channel, so go give it some love and go check it out, of course, after this video. And while you're at it, leave a big like on this video, guys. It really helps me when you like the videos. And of course, subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. I get you guys all your news out, all your rumors out, everything involving the Patriots, and I also get it out quickly. So obviously, it's a place you should subscribe. Join the Patriots Global family, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell notification. You'll be notified every single time I post a video. But Bill Belichick here is making another signing. This one's going to be on defense, but mainly special teams. This is mainly a special teams move, and I want to get that out there now. New England is signing linebacker / special teamer Chris Board to a 2-year contract. Now, that 2-year contract is going to be worth up to $6.7 million. And I emphasize up to because everybody was already going off about this contract. You know, you had NFL reporters having to specify the fact that it's up to $6.7 million. Now, look, if New England just gave straight up $6 million to a special teamer, yeah, I'd be upset. But that is the maximum value that he's going to get. He can get up to that amount of money, nothing more. If we look at kind of the history so far of the 2023 offseason for Bill Belichick, you're looking at the re-signings or you're looking at the new free agent signings. He's making this a deal where it's heavily incentive-based to where, yeah, your guaranteed money is going to be low, but the amount of money that you can ultimately make is going to be fairly high. You just have to hit all your incentives. Did that with Juju. Did that with Mike Gesicki. Did that with every other free agent also, whether they played here or not. So I think that that's kind of the name of the game here. They also did it with James Robinson. They did that big time with James Robinson. The Patriots have gotten a lot of good deals. And the thing is, it's like everyone says Bill Belichick is cheap, and it's not necessarily that. He's not going to he's not going to pay for a player he doesn't value, but more specifically, he's not going to pay for a player, tongue twister there, that does not produce. He learned it with Jonnu. He had issues with Antonio Brown. He's not going to do it again. And the best way of giving money to a player that's at least going to produce for you is to give incentives. And for those who don't know what incentives are, it's basically you got to hit a certain mark to make your money. Play a certain amount of games, play a certain percentage of snaps, have a certain amount of tackles, sacks, interceptions. It's different depending on the player, but hit a certain benchmark and you will get more money. So just want to put that out there first. Kind of wanted to break that down to make sure people know he's not just straight off the bat getting that amount of money, but I don't know his base value. I don't know where that contract is starting in terms of guaranteed money. So that's what I'll be interested to see. But obviously, nonetheless, a very good amount of money for a guy that's mainly going to be a special teamer here for you. But Board is 27 years old. He originally entered the league as an undrafted free agent out of North Dakota State back in 2018. This is a guy the Patriots are very, very familiar with because they've played against him several times. This is somebody that Bill Belichick talks his ear off about. And Bill Belichick doesn't talk a lot in press conferences, but if it's about a player he likes, he will sit up there and give you monologues on top of monologues about that player. And he actually did that with Chris Board, which we're actually going to get into later in this video. But like I said, Chris Board played originally for the Baltimore Ravens, who the Patriots have played quite a few times. They play in the AFC also, just like the Patriots. So whether it's been in the playoffs or whether it's been just in the regular season, they've seen them quite a few times. And even this past season, they saw him when they literally blew the doors off of the Detroit Lions because he played for them this past season. But a little bit more into what he did with those teams. Like I said, started that career with the Baltimore Ravens, who he played in 67 regular season games with, and even a few games in the playoffs also over a 4-year span. He primarily did play as a special teamer with some defensive tendencies here and there. What I will say about him is that each year his snaps on defense have gone up, not a lot, but they have increased as each year has gone on. He went from 1% of defensive snaps his rookie year to 31% in his final year with the Baltimore Ravens. And then in 2022, he again left the Ravens and he signed a 1-year, $2 million deal with the Detroit Lions. So Bill Belichick, very familiar. They played against them. And obviously, Belichick loves bringing on players to his team that played well against him, that stick out to him when they're playing in the regular season. So overall here, I do want to get into some of his statistics to kind of back up the fact that this is going to be a main special teams move. But even before I do that, I think the biggest question that Patriots fans are having is, dear God, why are half of the signings we've made special teams? You know, you look at Mack Wilson, that's a special teams move. That's really not a defensive move. Yeah, he can play a little bit on the Patriots defense. He can be a backup piece, a little rotational piece, but Mack Wilson is he's a special teamer. That's exactly what he is. That's all he is a special teamer. Bill Belichick with Chris Board, Bill Belichick getting Chris Board here. Special teams player also. Not going to give you much on defense. In fact, he's going to give you less on defense than Mack Wilson is going to do. So why? Why are you bringing on so many special teams players and giving them quality contracts when there's bigger holes we have, bigger fish to fry, and we don't have that much cap space? One, if you don't know Bill Belichick, he values special teams more than anyone in the entire league. But also, last year, really the last couple years, but last year more so than ever, was a terrible year for the Patriots special teams. They have let up several punt blocks. They've let up several kick returns. They let up punt returns. Like, they have had issues on special teams, which is something that never happens. You get one of those against the Patriots and you're shocked. Let alone, I think they had 3 of those last year alone, 2 in the final game. That is exactly what this move is. This is preventing what happened against the Buffalo Bills week 18 in a must-win game for the Patriots. The Patriots win week 18 and they go to the playoffs. But they gave up 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns, which was a big reason that New England ultimately ended up not going to the playoffs. Their issues on special teams cost them a playoff berth. Again, when something is so of a need, of an issue for the Patriots, Belichick will go into the offseason going absolutely berserk to fix that issue. He's doing it right now with the offensive line, signing several different guys, young guys who have been here before, veterans. He's going to draft young guys to make sure that that is not an issue again for next year. And that's exactly what he's doing here with special teams. Now, again, Bill Belichick had nothing but praise for Chris Board, and when they played against the Lions, he had a lot to say about Chris Board. He said, and I quote, "He's a very hard guy to match up against. The size matchup is a problem for the faster, lighter guys. The speed matchup is a harder matchup for the bigger guy who doesn't run as well as he does. He is a great combination of size and speed, as well as experience, instincts, and techniques. It's all the above. There are really no weaknesses in the player. You've got to figure out how to deal with him. He's seen everything. He said he's seen everything twice. He said he's seen everything. He's seen everything. But it's been different than just dealing with a big size player or just a speed player. Whatever he is to a quarter or whatever he is, he plays least of all, if not more. He looks like he's more like 245 pounds out there to tell you the truth, but I don't think he weighs that much. But he's a thumper. He's a very physical player. He runs well. He's very instinctive. So it doesn't matter who's on him. It's a tough matchup. If you start to double team, then everybody else is singled. You might solve one problem, but you have to create multiple other ones also. You have to figure out how to handle it. He creates a lot of problems, and then it's all kind of rolls downhill from there. So part of that quote not exactly making much sense for Bill Belichick, but you kind of get the idea of what he's trying to say about Chris Board. And the Patriots need to find their new overall next generation of the franchise, but especially on special teams. You look back in the day, whether it was Justin Bethel, Matthew Slater, Nate Ebner, Cody Davis, like these have been your guys over the last few years. They're not here anymore. Matthew Slater is really the only guy that's left, and he's probably going to be gone after this year if I had to guess. So you have to start to build that up because you're going to create issues like you had last year in the last few years. And signing somebody like Chris Board, I think, is an excellent move at 6'2", 229 pounds. I actually also want to pull up his special teams numbers here. What he's going to serve for you from a defensive standpoint, he's more of an off the ball linebacker, doesn't stand out in any statistical category. Like, he's not going to make any big plays or be a starter for you. Maybe he gets into the rotation a little bit, but he's not a guy you want really playing defense. But if anything, he's going to be an off the ball linebacker, more of a pass rush type of guy. When he was with the Detroit Lions, he actually ranked first on special teams in snaps. So he played a total of 79.6% of the Detroit Lions special team snaps, and he recorded a total of 10 tackles for them on special teams, which ranked second for special teams players for the Detroit Lions. So as it comes to for defensive numbers here, as I try to scroll down if it lets me. This past year, again, didn't really play much. If we look at his defensive numbers here real quick, just to try to give you an idea, he played 14% of defensive snaps this past year with 160, 33% with the Ravens in 2021 with 337. So just want to kind of keep that in when we're talking about his statistics here. But this past year, he put up 1 forced fumble, 1 pass defended, 21 overall defensive tackles, 1 quarterback hit. In 2021, he put up 41 tackles and 2 quarterback hits. And that's all he did defensively. Again, not really much of anything from a defensive standpoint that he's going to give you. But again, it's a special teams move. Not the sexiest signing, but a signing that's definitely going to go a long way. What are your guys' thoughts on this, though? Let me know in the comment section below. He's going to be somebody that comes in and serves a little bit more of depth, but mainly a special teamer behind guys like Jawan Bentley, Jelani Tavai, maybe a little bit Mac Wilson, obviously Raekwon McMillan. But what are your guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video and subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. Just remember, I always appreciate you guys for watching and especially the recent support. But never forget, go Pats.